So you've been trying to gain weight for a while, and no matter what you eat or how much you eat, you just can't seem to gain weight. Well, first of all, if there's something that you know you can do, like training harder or eating more, then go do that and then come back to this video and rewatch it. Now, if you eat as much as you can all the time and you're progressively overloading in the gym by adding more reps, more weight, more sets, changing up the exercises, decreasing the rest time, adding in drop sets, doing this like over time each week or each month, and trying to push yourself to get stronger in the gym, and you're still not making any gains, you could have too high of a metabolism, and maybe you could be a little more or too insulin resistant. Now, this would happen if you are like a little higher in body fat and you're eating a lot of food, like at least 600 carbs per day. You're going to be less respondent to carbs, and so you're going to be more insulin resistant. This is what type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance, but I'm talking about like bodybuilders, powerlifters who like try to eat a lot of food intentionally, and they eat so many carbs, and when you eat carbs, your pancreas secretes insulin, and the more carbs you eat, the more insulin you produce, and so over time, if you eat a lot of carbs, you're gonna be less sensitive to those carbs, so it'd be more resistant to insulin. And so you don't wanna be insulin resistant if you're any type of athlete, or just like in general, it's bad for your health. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to lower your metabolism and how to become more insulin sensitive. All right, so if you're like a lot of guys that have been working out for a few years, and you're trying to eat as many calories as you can, but you can't really gain any more weight, what you can do is lower your metabolism so that you'll be able to be in a higher surplus of calories without having to keep increasing your calories and end up eating 10,000 calories per day. So this is what you can do. In short, eat less carbs for about a week, and then lose a little bit of weight, be more carb sensitive, and then gain some more weight. But let me show you the actual science behind it. So let's say if you're eating, let's call this 4,000 calories, okay? So you're eating 4,000 calories, whatever carbs, macro ratios, whatever. And so you're eating 4,000 calories and you're not gaining any weight. So your calories are gonna be the same as your metabolism. Before, like when you were getting up to the weight that you're at now, your metabolism was right here. And so this arrow up means you were in a caloric surplus. And so the bigger surplus you were in, like let's say if you were to eat, at that same metabolism, if you were to eat 5,000 calories one day, then you're gonna be in that big of a surplus. And so you'd have a crazy spike in your metabolism. Your metabolism would shoot up there, follow your calories, and just like a rubber band. So if you have like a rubber band connecting my two fists, this is calories, this is your metabolism. Your calories go up, your metabolism will follow it. Your calories go down, your metabolism will follow it. If you spike your calories up, your metabolism will follow it. And if you spike your calories down, your metabolism will follow it. And the biggest thing is if you're like, if you bring them down really fast like this, it's gonna be harder to bring your metabolism back up. I talked about that in my last video about how to lose weight, and now I'm talking about how to gain weight. So let me go back to where I was, where you are, and you're stuck at 4,000 calories or 6,000, 10,000, whatever. You're at 4,000 calories and you're not gaining any weight. So what you can do is do the opposite of what you've been doing. You've been trying to eat as much as you can, and honestly, it's been like some junk food here, some junk food here, or the majority of your diet is like junk food, and you're not really eating like the same stuff that a bodybuilder on prep would be eating, which is fine. But one mistake that a lot of people make is they eat too many fats. And what fats do is they take a lot longer to digest, so it's harder to eat as frequently as if you were to be eating easier to digest meals. so that you could eat more calories in a day, because you'd be able to eat more frequently and digest faster. So rather than eating like a double bacon cheeseburger that has like 60 grams of fat, you could eat like 2 cups, 3 cups of white rice with steak or chicken or ground beef or whatever, and that's going to be lower in fat than the burger, and that's going to digest a lot faster than the burger. And so you could eat that meal again, and now you just got like double those calories in less time than if you were to eat the cheeseburger twice, like with a longer time to digest. So that's the first mistake, is fats are too high, and eating like junk food rather than like cleaner food. But I do completely understand that you have to eat like some calorically dense foods in order to reach those high calories. The trick is you have to pick lower fat, higher sugar foods in order to do that. My favorite foods to do it, clean foods would be like pasta, especially like I make chicken Alfredo all the time. Alfredo is kind of high in fat, but whatever, it still tastes really good and you can eat a bunch of it. More on the unhealthy side would be like Pop-Tarts. I love those. Very high in carbs. So yeah, that's one tip. But the main thing with your metabolism is, let's say you bring it down by 100 carbs each day, which is 400 calories. So maybe here, here, here. So this is 3,600. Right there. 3,200, 2,800, 2,400. And so I'll do an extra day. 2,000. Okay, so let's say for every single day in, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in 6 days, which 6 to 7 days is perfect for this like carb cycle is what it is. Every single day, decrease your carbs by 100 The best way to do it is the first day, track your macros with MyFitnessPal, but eat what you would normally eat. And if you were to, let's say, eat Chipotle, then you can still track that on MyFitnessPal. You don't have to be 100% accurate with every single thing, but just like try to guess and track with MyFitnessPal and see like what you normally do eat in a day. And then the next day, eat 100 carbs less, and then let me show you what happens. So now you bring your calories here, and your metabolism is up here. So you're gonna come down to here, and then the calories are gonna be here, and your metabolism is gonna follow it, so it's gonna be here. And then your calories are gonna be here. Metabolism is gonna follow it here. And by the way, this is not how you actually lose weight. Like if you're watching this and you're trying to lose like weight like in a more sustainable way, this is not the way to do it. This is a way to kind of like shock your body and like really lower your metabolism like temporarily. What will also happen is as you get lower in carbs like really fast, your body is going to be like, oh no, I'm like running out of food. I'm gonna hold on to as much water as I can, because carbs hold on to water. And so when you're decreasing these carbs so much, you're also peeing out a whole bunch. So at first you're gonna be peeing a whole bunch of like clear water, as long as you're drinking enough water. But then once you get closer down to here, you keep getting down here, calories, metabolism, and then you're down here on the 6th day. Now your metabolism is way down here. You're also gonna be holding onto a lot of water. Your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, is gonna be really high. You're gonna feel not that good. But then what you're gonna do is, so there's 2 options. One, you can just do this backwards like that, or, which I honestly think this is the better option, especially if you're trying to gain weight, is the way to gain weight is to be in a caloric surplus. So why not be in a bigger caloric surplus? So if you're eating 2,000 calories, you're gonna be starving here, and it sucks. Trust me, like this is not an easy thing to do. It's not like that, like, I don't know, keto, coffee, protein, cookie, whatever. This is like stuff that nobody wants to do. So if you're really dedicated to gaining weight, this is a way to do it. How's it go? Good. And so, so what you can do is bring your calories. You can bring them up to here, whatever you want. Honestly, I would not track it. I would just say like, eat whatever you want. Don't just eat like a bunch of like junk food. Eat a lot of clean food. So let's say you eat a bunch more than you normally would. Let's say you land around here. All right, your calories go all the way up to there. Your metabolism, which that day is probably gonna go up to here. Now, you just created a huge surplus. If you're not at the same body weight that you were before, you might with the water weight. It depends on a lot of things. So weight changes, but like over this entire 2-week process, you will gain weight and you will keep gaining weight. So what will happen is your metabolism will stay down here because oh wow, this actually ties into my last video. So in my last video, I talked about if you were to start your diet at like too low of calories, your metabolism will be very low and it's hard to pull your metabolism up. So here, you bring your metabolism down here, it's hard to keep bringing your metabolism up. So as you increase your calories, your metabolism will be lower, and so you'll be in more of a surplus. And so then you can, one, be more insulin sensitive because you're eating less carbs, so your pancreas isn't going to be secreting as much insulin, so you're gonna be more carb sensitive or insulin sensitive. Two, you're going to be at a lower body mass, and I'm talking like fat and muscle, not water. And then also, you're going to have a lower metabolism, so you can eat more calories and gain weight. And then over time, like let's say the next week, you eat 3,500 to 4,000 calories, you're gonna gain a lot more weight at a lower metabolism. So that's what you gotta do. If you are stuck at a certain weight, eating a bunch of calories, lower your carbs each day, do a carb cycle basically. Lower your carbs each day by 100-ish. And then once you like get to that 6th or 7th day and you feel like not good, you feel like kind of stressed, anxious, feel very watery, you're not gonna look good. You're gonna lose some muscle glycogen, you're not really gonna have any veins, and you're gonna look like really watery. That is what's supposed to happen. The next day, eat a bunch of carbs, your muscles are gonna fill out. Also, be prepared, you're going to pee a bunch. I'm saying this because I literally just did this last week, so I know this works. What I did was I ate 850 carbs on Monday, 700, 600, 500, 400, 300. I think that's what it was. Saturday I had 300 carbs, and I was thinking Sunday I'm gonna have like 250, but Saturday I was like, no, like I am done with this low carb BS. And so Sunday, what I did, and this is only because I'm doing this for a powerlifting meet, I weighed 203 last Sunday, and this Sunday is the meet and I have to be 204.6 or less, and I didn't want to weigh more than that, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't gain too much weight, so I lost some weight, became more insulin sensitive, and now what I'm doing is different than this spike right here. What I'm doing, which I'm only doing because I don't want to gain too much weight, is I'm going back like this. Bigger jumps than this, but I'm not taking a big jump like how I would recommend for someone if they're actually trying to like gain weight in general. So here I'm doing this, and my metabolism is here, and then I'm going like that, and then eventually I'm gonna get up to like right there. So yeah, that's the video. Let me know if you have any questions. But other than that, yeah, keep making gains.